Hey guys, so I just wanted to sit down briefly for a couple minutes and talk about something that can be hard to talk about. I have not shared on this channel, but it is reality for a lot of people with this condition. So I have mentioned I do have epilepsy, and I have temporal lobe epilepsy with myoclonic seizures, baby seizures, you know, all the things. I've had pretty much every single seizure in the book. And so it's not like one particular seizure, it's not like one pattern. Now, when I say pattern, I'm talking about like, you know, you have where before I was on treatment, I was having seizures non-stop. So really quickly back in 2017, I became very, very sick, and my seizures, literally, I had 100 seizures within a month, at least. I mean, that could be an understatement. I'm not even like, you can't make this up. But it was really hard because, you know, if you can imagine, like, it was hard to eat, it was hard to sleep, like, it was interrupting my daily life and everyone else in my family. I mean, they knew I couldn't control it, but it was literally, the doctor said, "Is this interrupting everything?" And we said yes. And then he saw a video and he was like, whoa. So, because we had to have video documentation of the seizures and what was going on. So I was just trying to live normal life when things weren't so normal. And so, you know, before I was on treatment, because they had to run a lot of tests, and we had emergency medicine, but at this point, the seizures hadn't been like every single day where we needed to do daily treatment until now, or then actually. So they did tests, they figured it out, but however, the seizures were so, you guys, they were just bad, okay? They were horrible. And so it basically damaged a little bit of my spine down, because I already have, you know, cerebral palsy, and I'm a little special needs person, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. I used to not like the word special needs, not for other people, for myself. I was like, no, I'm not in that category. And then I opened my eyes one day, you know, I'm a blind person, and I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what? I am, and that's okay. That's how God made me, and I'm not gonna, you know, sit there and fight that, because it's okay. It's okay to be special needs. Like, I didn't want to be in that category because I was honestly, it was selfish thinking on my part, and I didn't know it back then, and it wasn't anything I was intentionally doing. But anyway, basically the seizures were just so bad where, I mean, you knew, we all knew in 2 minutes she's gonna have a seizure. I mean, it was, seriously, there was no, it was not unpredictable. It was extremely predictable, which made it extremely hard because, you know, you get the taste, the aura in your mouth, and then I started tasting metal and smelling fingernail polish, and I was getting nauseous. It was so hard. So I just got really, really weak, and I've gotten so much stronger since then, but you guys, it just took a toll on my body. The number of seizures took a toll on my body. So then I got put on treatment, and thank goodness it is working. You know what? We have hiccups here and there. I'm grateful I'm on treatment. If I wasn't, you guys, I don't even know if I would be here. And I'm saying that in all seriousness because it was that bad. You know, with seizures, you can stop breathing, you can have trouble breathing. And my family witnessed that, and my mom especially witnessed a lot of it, and she stayed so calm while watching me have seizures that lasted 5 minutes, a half an hour. I mean, it was terrible. I would stand on stage and try to sing, hoping to not have a seizure. I would go into class tasting auras and not say anything to my professors and teachers because I was scared. I didn't want them to know. I wanted, you know, normalcy in my reality, and that wasn't my reality. And so anyways, but then, you know, obviously I was put on treatment, and even the doctor said, you're not pale anymore. Like, I was so pale and sick. And so, so now, you know, treatment definitely does the work. It really does. Like, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. It's definitely done great things for me. You know, I'm on seizure treatment 3 times a day, but you know what? There's a big gap at night when I go to sleep and I don't take treatment. And so, I'm on like treatment for pediatrics. And so, you know, because of my body size and because of my condition. But anyway, so I, you know, there are hiccups. All right, even with treatment, people with epilepsy, once you have a certain amount of seizures, there are hiccups, and there are things that can cause seizures, like having a fever or feeling stressed out, and you don't always know. It's not like you purposely are like, I'm gonna have a seizure today. Or sometimes it just happens. It's not really a reason. There's really not really a reason. Like, I don't have like stress seizures. I mean, stress can cause those episodes, but I don't have like one reason that'll cause a seizure. I just happen to have temporal lobe epilepsy, and sometimes I have a seizure, and that just happens. But let me explain to you what happens with epilepsy. It's not just about having seizures. And although that's a huge part of it, I'm speaking from my own experience, but I definitely just want to spread some education out there. And I definitely say this with a humble heart and not with a critical heart, but you know, if you're friends with someone who has epilepsy, they want to live a normal life too. You know, don't exclude them from things. It's okay to ask questions. It's completely appropriate, and actually you should. Hey, what should you do? What should I do if you have a seizure? Because everyone's different. Every seizure is different. Of course, there's a lot of things you do when someone has a seizure, but, you know, ask the person. Be like, I just want to know, you know, what do you do? What do I do if you have a seizure? What, you know, all the important things. But one thing that I've learned is don't exclude people because you're scared or because of epilepsy. Because, you know, people like me, we want to live normal lives. Like, we want to go on trips. We want to, you know, have fun. We want to hang out with friends. We want to go to those family get-togethers and not worry about, like, you know, like, people being worried about a seizure happening and you can't do this because what if a seizure happens? No, that's not how we live. And that's not how I live. And I have been in situations where people have excluded me because they're afraid of my seizures. And you guys, that is a very hurtful thing. I do have a lot of amazing friends and family members. Actually, you know, my family, they're amazing. Like, I have a super amazing support system. And so, you know, and I have so many great friends. And so my true friends are the ones who understand, who know. They don't let that, you know, affect us hanging out and getting together. I mean, I will say, you know, sure, like, I'm not going to say, you know, if someone doesn't have a seizure, it doesn't make you feel nervous or scared or anything. I'm not going to, you know, downplay the fact that seizures are not serious. Seizures are very serious, and so is epilepsy. Not everyone that has seizures has epilepsy. But in this case, we're talking about epilepsy and people like me. But I will say this, is that if you are friends with someone with epilepsy, obviously if they're very, very, very sick, I wouldn't suggest like taking them somewhere, because obviously they need to get testing and treatments and stuff like that. But let's just, you know, talk on a daily basis. Like, on treatment, they're fine. You know, they could have a seizure here or there because that's just part of life. Sorry, my allergies are woo. But, you know, let's just say that you have a friend with epilepsy. Well, they're a really, really good friend and they enjoy hanging out with you. The last thing that someone wants is for them to be excluded from any activities or trips or anything because of their epilepsy. Of course, you know, obviously with the safeguards being in place, because everyone has different, you know, for me, I have a few things I do, and I have, you know, for my seizures, so if they happened, you know, people will find out, people will know. So we have safeguards set in place in case I do have one. But you know what? I still babysit. I still do a lot of things, and I don't wake up and say, oh my gosh, like, I have epilepsy. What if I have a seizure today? That's, you know, it's just kind of like, I don't even think about that. The only time I know I have epilepsy, and it's become one of my life testimonies, honestly. That's made me grow closer to God, and it made me, you know, realize like what life is really all about. And that's just a small portion, but it's also huge at the same time. It's kind of really hard to explain. But the whole point is I'm so grateful that I'm given those opportunities, because I would be so heartbroken if, if people didn't trust me not because of me, but because of my epilepsy. But here's the thing is, like, I have epilepsy, and there's nothing I can do about it. and there's nothing anyone else can do about it. But you know what? I have to live life to the fullest, and I'm gonna live life to the fullest. So you know what? Whether you're have friends or relationships, you know, I've I've been told some pretty hurtful things, but you know, and I think it comes from people that maybe don't understand. You know, it's hard for them to understand because they don't go through it. So that's why I'm putting this video out. I don't want it to be like, this person said this to me, so I'm mad. I'm not mad. I just really want to help people in the epilepsy community or people like me. And if you don't have epilepsy, just know, I know it's hard for you to understand. I really do. Because there was a day where I wasn't having seizures, and I know what that's like. And I remember I used to get so scared when someone had a seizure. I'd run, not because I didn't want to be around them, because it flipped me out. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this. And literally, I grew up with a lot of people, you know, from like blind school and people that had seizures. Oh my gosh, someone had a seizure, my heart was racing. I went into panic mode. And now I've seen people have seizures. I would stay extremely like calm, and I know what to do because I've been through it myself. And so I know that's really hard to understand, but just if you can, if you do have epilepsy, you know what I mean, and you got this. If you don't have epilepsy, just know if you have a family member, a friend, a boyfriend or girlfriend, you know, fiance, spouse, whatever it is, a child, a parent, whoever, if you know someone and you're really close to them with epilepsy, don't let that stop you from having, you know, fun together or creating good memories. Sorry, my nose really itches. Real life, you guys. Don't let that stop you from, like, you know, again, have those safeguards and be like, okay, if you were to have a seizure, what do I do? And that is completely appropriate. You need to be safe about epilepsy. It is a thing, but don't exclude people because of epilepsy, because you know, it is very hard emotionally already anyways. And then when people are fearful of you because of your condition, that's even harder, and that's tough. And that's not something I wish on anyone. So that's what really happens with epilepsy. You know, sometimes people we face, you know, like, well, we know you're really smart, or we know you're really bubbly, or we know like you can get this done, but what if you do have a seizure? And back of our mind, we're fearing it. Well, if I have a seizure, I have a seizure, you know? I can't worry about that, you know? Anything could happen to anyone at any given time. You know, obviously the prayer is that doesn't happen, but in all reality, we face so much in this world that, you know what? I have cerebral palsy. I'm legally blind. I have a heart condition called tetralogy Fallot. I have little person syndrome. And I wear hearing aids. You know, I'm extremely special needs, but I'm also extremely independent as well. There's obviously a lot of things I do need help with for physical wise, not because I'm blind. And of course I do get help with things because I'm blind. Like, you know, I don't have depth perception, or sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know what this looks like, or, you know, obviously I don't drive, so it's a huge thing. So I do get help with things because I'm blind, but the main things that I get help with is not because I'm blind, it's because of my physical disabilities. So, you know, just keep that in mind, that, you know, and I try to be one of those people too, like, I'm not perfect, you guys. This is just me. Everyone definitely has the right to their own opinions and their own thoughts on everything, but, you know, if you're someone with special needs or disabilities or blindness, you know, try your hardest to, like, you know, see the good. And I know that's like, well, I don't want to see the positive in everything. And you know what? That's okay. If that's really hard for you, I'm not gonna yell at you for that. But that would just be my advice, is because I say this because I have no choice. Like, I feel like I have my moments, you guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I don't wake up every day, and, you know, there are days some days it is a struggle. Not all the time, but I do have my days where it's a struggle, where it's like, you know, especially if I do have a seizure or any other type of things. And this is mainly about epilepsy, but the bottom line is I do have my moments, and it can be hard because, you know, it's like, does this person really want to hang out with me? Like, knowing that I have epilepsy, is that going to scare them away? That can be one of the most heartbreaking things, regardless of who it is. So just remember that, like, don't take someone's condition and make that your decision making of whether you're gonna hang out with them or not. Yeah, that can be tough. But you know, people like me with epilepsy, we face that. We're like, you know, we don't know when a seizure is gonna happen, but if it does, are we still gonna have these certain friends, or, you know, is it gonna scare people away? Don't be scared away, because you're not the one going through it, we are. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to chat about that because it was something that, you know, I feel like isn't brought up a lot. I'm genuinely a happy person, and I know that I can't control epilepsy, so I'm not angry about it. I mean, I'm not like jumping up and down, yay! But seriously, you guys, it's actually a very serious thing, and I do not want to. Like I said, I do not want to downplay that at all. I know people with epilepsy, and they struggle every single day to stay alive. So there are people that are much more worse off than I am in that regards. However, people with epilepsy, we understand each other. And so we just want the same respect, the same love as everyone else. And so I just wanted to talk about that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comment down below. And I will see you in the next video. I think I'm going to go ahead and end out this vlog for today. I'm going to ask the dentist tomorrow what he thinks of... I'm still sore, so I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. Anyway, all right. Peace out.